It has been a couple of weeks since Silicon Power released their new RAMs, but nevertheless we're going to take a look today and check out what it's all about. So we have today X Power Zenith. These are 4 times 16 gigabytes on 3600 megahertz of frequency, and they look quite nice. Even though they have RGB, they're quite low profile, so you won't have that much issues with big CPU tower coolers, but nevertheless it's going to be quite interesting to check them out. I already used them in a couple of builds. You might have seen them on some other YouTube videos or Instagram posts. So let's take a closer look of the Zenith RAMs. Now, with the quite interesting design on the heatsink, we have something really cool and really special. I would say refreshing model when we're comparing it to the turbine, but it's really nice memory stick indeed. Now, these are 3600 megahertz as already stated, CL18, and we have some sort of a brushed, let's say, aluminum that is a heatsink, and the top part is the RGB, let's say, strip line, whatever, and you have LEDs beneath it. Each stick contains 16 gigabytes of memory, and altogether it's quite a pack. Basically, you can get 2x16 or 2x8 or whatever you desire and combine it in your build however you wish. Now, these have a really minimalistic design, and I really love how they look. Now, for some technical specifications, they're ranging from 3200 megahertz to 4133 megahertz with low 1.3 to 1.4 volts power consumption. It allows gameplay at the highest settings with automatic overclocking. With the XMP profile, basically depending on your motherboard and what it supports, you just have to access your presets profiles in the motherboard and adjust the higher clock. What they also stated is a sharp design that stays cool with iron gray colored heat spreader with texture hardline finish results in sharp and eye-catching design that is balanced by soft curves. As I already stated, it really does look quite nice, minimalistic, with a nice approach, with low profile but yet high performance. Now, there's also a cool thing that I need to add. It has a lifetime warranty, and also it has up to 10 layers of PCBs for superior signal quality, and is 100% factory tested to guarantee high stability, durability, and compatibility, and all that other stuff. Now, some specification: the height is 38.5 millimeters, which makes it quite interesting, desirable for those who are really after I don't know, a high CPU tower cooler. They still want an RGB lights on their RAMs, and they can most likely fit in most conditions. So you have a single pack of 8 gigs, 16 gigs and 32 gigs. Dual channel kit is packed in 2x8, 2x16 and 2x32. Now, since we passed all the main features and specifications, I did some comparison when it comes to RAMs that I tested before, and taking into consideration, for instance, CL. So of course the lower the CL is, the better. They're at the last position, but only because every single others are either 3200 megahertz or 3000 megahertz. The ones that I actually had with 3600 megahertz are Patriot Viper Blackout Edition, and they also have CL18. Now, when it comes to latency, they have the highest latency, 83.2 nanoseconds, which comes at the last position, but then comparing it to XPG Spectrix, which are on 32 megahertz, they only lag by a couple of nanoseconds. Now, the interesting part when we're talking about read, write and copy, we have read that comes in second in line, comparing it to the Patriot Viper Blackout Edition 2x8 gigs 3600 megahertz with a difference of 5000 megabytes per second. Then we have write, which basically takes the first place with 47 1000 megabytes per second, and copy is also basically on the second position, comparing it to the Patriot Viper Blackout Edition on 3600 megahertz, but quite close to the XPG Spectrix D60G. Taking everything into consideration for the capacity and everything that you could expect, I would say they're quite alright concerning the write speeds, and basically taking the first place. It also depends on other manufacturer megahertz and what we had for testing before. Unfortunately, I didn't have the ability to test all RAM sticks that I had so far. It will be quite a list, to be honest, but taking into consideration the nice minimalistic design, we have a nice RGB line. Even though the LEDs can be seen individually, I would say it's quite alright in terms of the height. If the height was a bit higher, so if it wasn't 38.5 millimeters, they will most likely put some diffuser, LED diffuser on top, just to spread the light evenly, so you won't be able to see individual LEDs. But taking into consideration that these are actually RGB low profile RAMs, I think that's quite alright. Minimalistic design, outstanding speeds, even though the latency is a bit behind, but still I wouldn't take that as a negative too much. Still, you get loads of capacity for a great price, lifetime warranty, and outstanding quality, since I did use loads of their SSDs, and I'm still using 2 of their SSDs in my PC for a couple of years maybe, and they're still working perfectly fine. So all in all, for 3600 megahertz and CL18, I would say they're quite alright. You won't be disappointed. Some specifications to add, we have manufacturer of DRAM components. Its Hynix package is standard monolithic 7/8 ball FPGA. We have 8 gigabytes one die, and I would say they perform quite solidly. So guys, if you're interested in going with a low profile RGB with minimalistic design RAMs, you can always check out Silicon Power Zenith, with loads of variations of packaging, single pack or dual pack, so dual channel. I'll put the links below for the specific 2 times 16 gigabytes on 3600 megahertz, and you can also check the others as well. And finally, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, hit the notification bell, and see you next time in a new video. Thanks for watching, bye bye.